On November 2nd, 1755, in the Hofburg Palace in Vienna, a child was born to Holy Roman Emperor Francis I and Empress Maria Theresa of Austria. Named Maria Antonia Josefa Johanna, she would later become Marie Antoinette, a figure known worldwide for both her beauty and her downfall. Though born into the prestigious Habsburg family, her birth was not celebrated, her mother whispering to her attendants, "Another girl." As the 15th child in a family already brimming with heirs, her arrival was seen as less significant, overshadowed by the political and dynastic importance placed on her elder siblings. Affectionately called Madame Antoine within the family to avoid confusion with her sisters, her future was far from certain. Marie Antoinette's early years were spent in Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, surrounded by siblings. Despite the royal luxury, her childhood was filled with laughter and innocence, especially during playful moments with her sister Charlotte and brother Joseph, who would later become Holy Roman Emperor. Her education was shaped by court expectations. Though trained in arts and music by figures like Mozart, she showed little interest in academics, preferring the joys of courtly life. This disinterest in scholarly subjects left her ill-prepared for leadership and added to public criticism during her reign. To continue exploring stories like this, please subscribe, ring the bell, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. At just 6 months old, Marie Antoinette's fate was sealed by a political marriage to Louis Auguste, the Dauphin of France, arranged by her parents and King Louis XV. At 12, she was betrothed to the Dauphin, and at 14, she left Austria for France. Crossing the Rhine River, she exchanged her Austrian attire for French garments, leaving behind her homeland and identity to become the Dauphine of France. This symbolic transformation reflected both hope and vulnerability as she prepared for her new role. Arriving at Versailles, Marie Antoinette faced the complexities of French court life. At 14, she had to adapt quickly to its rigid protocol. The marriage to Louis Auguste was strained, and their failure to consummate it sparked public gossip, threatening the future of the monarchy. Despite these struggles, Marie Antoinette captivated the court with her youthful beauty and extravagant fashion, becoming a symbol of elegance. Her elaborate gowns, often adorned with intricate embroidery and lavish fabrics, set new trends at Versailles. Notably, her towering pouf hairstyles, adorned with feathers and jewels, became iconic. These bold fashion choices not only solidified her reputation as a trendsetter, but also drew admiration and criticism alike, further embedding her as a figure of both allure and controversy. Yet, her growing popularity only deepened the rift with the French political elite, who mistrusted her foreign origins. If you're enjoying this journey through history, please subscribe, ring the bell, and share your thoughts in the comments. In 1778, after years of marital tension, Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI finally consummated their marriage, and in 1778, their first child, Marie-Thérèse, was born. This brought hope for the monarchy's future, though not without public skepticism. Despite the challenges of royal duty and political unrest, Marie Antoinette grew close to her children, finding solace in their presence after the death of her son, Louis Charles, in 1795. Her children became her greatest source of comfort amid the turmoil. Marie Antoinette became a symbol of extravagance, with her love of fashion, gambling, and lavish parties. Her private retreat at Le Petit Trianon, where she role-played as a shepherdess, starkly contrasted with the nation's growing poverty. Her love for extravagant fashion and lavish parties stood in stark contrast to France's growing poverty. For instance, her wardrobe, filled with hundreds of costly dresses and elaborate hairstyles, fueled resentment and added to her reputation as a queen out of touch with her people. The infamous myth of "let them eat cake," though widely discredited by historians, epitomized her public image as a queen out of touch with the suffering of her people. By the late 1780s, the foundations of the French monarchy were crumbling. Years of financial mismanagement, costly wars, and lavish royal expenditures left the kingdom deeply in debt. Though Marie Antoinette became the public face of excess, these issues began long before her arrival in France. The tipping point came with successive poor harvests, leading to widespread famine. Bread, the staple food of the French people, became unaffordable. As hunger spread, frustration boiled over. Protests against rising bread prices turned into riots, and calls for reform grew louder. The monarchy's inability to address these crises made the royal family symbols of the people's suffering. At Versailles, Marie Antoinette's reputation for extravagance became intertwined with the struggles of the nation. While she spent time at her private retreat, peasants starved and revolutionary ideas flourished. The Enlightenment's calls for equality and liberty spread through France, inspiring the common people to demand systemic change. These tensions set the stage for the dramatic events that would follow. As France's financial crisis worsened, revolution was inevitable. Widespread poverty and social unrest led to protests, and the monarchy's legitimacy began to crumble. Marie Antoinette's attempts to protect royal power, including secret communications with her Austrian family, were met with hostility. The royal family's failed attempt to escape France in 1791 shattered their credibility. The tense carriage ride was filled with fear and desperation as they hoped to elude their pursuers. It all came to a tragic end in the town of Varennes, where Louis XVI was recognized by his likeness on a coin. Surrounded by hostile crowds and armed soldiers, the family was captured and marched back to Paris under heavy guard. The humiliating return eroded any remaining support for the monarchy, sealing their fate in the eyes of the revolution. Imprisoned in the Tuileries Palace, the royal family's status deteriorated. In 1793, Louis XVI was put on trial and executed, followed by Marie Antoinette, who was charged with treason and incest. Despite the baseless nature of the accusations, her trial became a spectacle of public rage. Marie Antoinette faced her trial with unyielding dignity, raising her voice firmly and addressing the court. Nature refuses to answer such a charge brought against a mother. Her words reverberated with defiance, even as the courtroom brimmed with revolutionary fervor. This poignant statement highlighted the absurdity of the accusations against her and became a moment of human vulnerability in an otherwise hostile trial. While her words resonated with those sympathetic to her plight, they did little to sway the revolutionary fervor of her accusers, who were determined to see her as a symbol of the monarchy's excesses and corruption. Her execution on October 16, 1793, symbolized the end of the old regime. If you enjoyed the story of Marie Antoinette, her rise, struggles, and tragic end, please don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching and for supporting our journey through history.